Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for my summer romance book bingo TBR. The summer romance book bingo is a readathon that started out last year where we read the summer romance book bingo over 3 months, June, July and August, and it's the same this time around that summer romance book bingo will be going from June 1st until August 31st. This year is a little bit different. There are more prompts in the this readathon, so you can actually see the two different people doing this readathon and have this completely different prompts to read. And Sarah from Steeped in Books, who is the creator of this readathon, has made this bingo board that changes every time you refresh it. So if you want to keep your list, you need to like print it out or something. I have decided to do possibly if I can 2 bingo boards full blackouts, but first off I have put down the first bingo board, like the first 25 prompts that I want to read for. And the way that I determined the categories that I wanted was that I went onto random.org to put in numbers between 1 and 80 and just picked sequence numbers and decided to divide it into 3 sequences, and then that is more or less 3 bingo boards with a little more than that. But you know, then I just took from the top and wrote down 25 squares or 24 different squares, because there's always the free reader's choice square in the middle. And this time around there are going to be points awarded whenever you finish things. Like if you have a complete line, you get 1 point. If you have a complete bingo board, I think you get 2 points or something like that. And there are also different group reads, that if you read the group read, you will get 2 points. If you just read a book that is the same genre as a group read of the month, you'll get 1 point. And there's a lot more of this information in the Goodreads group, Create Your Own Readathon, that I will leave down below, as well as Sarah's video, as she also explains it pretty well in her announcement video that went up a couple of weeks ago. So I have already written down the prompts that I need for my 2 bingo boards if I'm going to do 2, but I'm only going to mention one of them today because I'm not completely set on the fact that I need to get through 2 bingo boards, because I also know that I have to do the newts in August, so I kind of have to almost be finished with the bingos by July, but we'll have to see what ends up happening. This is my list for now, and I haven't always picked a romance book. If a book fit the square, like if it just says like your favorite author, or if it says like a sequel or something like that, I don't necessarily just use romance books. I mean, she says that it's okay to not read romance books for those prompts, as long as I read them for the books that the prompts that says romance in the category, if you will. Anyway, long story short, so let's get into the books that I'm planning on reading for the different prompts and the prompts that I'm going to be reading. The first prompt that I picked out for the bingo square was writes under a pseudonym, and this was a pretty easy for me to pick. I mean, this one is not necessarily a book that she's writing under a pseudonym, but this author writes under a pseudonym a lot. But the book that I'm going to be reading is The Villa by Nora Roberts. Nora Roberts also writes under the pen name J.D. Robb, where she writes the In Death series, which I love. I haven't read. I've had this on my TBR for a while. It's on TBR unwrapping, so I really want to read it. And I've been in no Roberts reading mood lately, so I've really wanted to pick this up. And so when I saw this prompt, I was not even hesitating putting this on, and I might try and get to it already in June if I can. The next prompt I picked up was reading a book that's set in a country that you don't live in, and I live in Denmark, so this is going to be pretty easy for me, but I haven't actually put down a prompt because I want to read something that is not necessarily in the US either, so I don't know at this point what that's going to be, so we'll see what happens. But I hope that I find something, but honestly I have a big selection of books to choose between. The third prompt that I got was a book written before I was born, and I was born in 1986. For that one I'm gonna read, this is my first non-romance read, and that is going to be Hands of Oberon by Roger Zelazny. This is book 4 in the Amber Chronicles series, and this was written in the mid-70s, so it definitely works. I think it was 74. Yeah, and this is like the whole collection of 10 novels. It's not very long, so that is my saving grace for this series. The next prompt I got was read a romance book with a cat or a dog on the cover, and for that I'm going to read Agent in Training by Terry Reid. This one has a border collie on the cover, and I very much like this cover, so I have been wanting to read it for a while, and I also haven't read very many Harley Quinn books, so I really want to do that. The next prompt I got was subgenre historical romance, and for that one I'm going to be reading Romancing Mr. Bridgerton by Julia Quinn. This is book 4 in the Bridgerton series. I could just as well move on with this one now that I read the third one this month. The sixth prompt that I got was a romance novel published in 2019, and for that one I decided to go with my very 90s romance, and this was published in March 2019. So the next one I got was a book with summer bugs on the cover, like bees, butterflies, or something like that, and the only thing I could think of off the top of my head was Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson, which has a moth on the cover. But if you have any suggestions to books that are with bugs on the cover that you think I might like, then I'll definitely like to know in the comments down below, because I would also like other suggestions. The next prompt I got was a YA contemporary, and for that one I actually have quite a few possibilities. There's The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, which I unwrapped last time. I also have A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, which I know is also Lala's favorite, so it's a double prompt thing. I also have When the Sky Fell on Splendor by Emily Henry. This is actually also magical realism, but it's more contemporary than it's sci-fi fantasy, so I don't know if this counts, but I'd like to get back to it. I have already started this one though, so I don't know how well it fits. But the prompt number 9 that I got down was to read a sports romance, and for that one I'm gonna read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. Last year I read Cruelty by Mariana Zapata, and it's one of my absolute favorite books, so I wanted to get one of hers again, but it definitely has like a sportsy type of cover. And the next book prompt that I got was a book set during winter, and for that one I'm gonna read The Devil in Winter by Lisa Kleypas. This is book 3 in the Wallflower series, and yeah, as another series continuing book that I would like to get to. Prompt number 11 that I got was a book you bought for the cover, and for that one I picked out The Wicked King by Kay Ancrum, because I really think this is a stunning cover, and I don't know much about it. I just know that it's one of Cody from the Cody's Book Corner's favorite reads of last year, but then the cover intrigues me as well, and it's not very long either, so I decided to put this down for this prompt. Prompt number 12 is a book that takes place in a small town, like Virgin River could be the first thing that I thought of, but then I looked into the read-along books, and the one for June is called Hot in Hellcat Canyon by Julie Ann Lang or Long. I can't see what I wrote. But this is the June read-along, and it is a small town set romance. I think it definitely has that vibe, so if it does work for this one, I'm gonna pick that. The 13th prompt is a free space, and I haven't picked anything for that yet, so we'll see whatever I end up put on that, but it could be anything. So the 14th prompt was read a book with ice cream on the cover, and the books that came to mind immediately was Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian, because it's like she's in a ice cream cart thing, or Love a Gelato by Jenny Ever Swale. Again, I can't read my own handwriting, so yeah. But those two books immediately came to mind when I got this prompt. So it's one of those I'm gonna read. I don't know which one yet. I have access to both of them from the library, so yeah. The 15th prompt that I got was read a book from my favorite author. But for that prompt, I'm going to be reading Fire Touch by Patricia Briggs. Patricia Briggs is without a doubt one of my favorite authors. She writes my favorite urban fantasy series ever, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Mercy, Adam, and all of the other characters from Mercy Thompson universe. So this is my pick for this one. This one, it could also work for the next prompt, but the next prompt is read the next book in the series, and for that I'm gonna read Lies, Damned Lies, and History by Jodie Taylor. This is book 7 in the Chronicles of St. Mary series. This is also pretty romance heavy focused at times, and does have a really good romance between her and Leon that I really adore. So I'm really looking forward to get back to this one as well. For the 17th prompt, I got a book with double letters in the title, and for that I'm going to read Paradise Valley by Robin Carr. This is book 6 or 7 in the Virgin River series. And then I got blue cover, and I haven't picked out anything yet for that one, but I have a few options. I have this cover. I'm not really looking forward to reading this. I've lost a little bit of interest in it, but this is very blue and it's short. I have Crest by Marissa Meyer, the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles, which is very blue as well. I have The Demolished Man by Alfred Bester. This has a lot of blue on the cover as well, just in the lighter blue sense. And again, I also have When the Sky Fell on Splendor by Emily Henry, but I don't know how well that fits right now. There are multiple options, but I don't know yet. We'll see whatever I end up reading for this prompt. The 19th prompt that I got was Romantic Suspense, and for that one I think I'm gonna read the sequel to Speak No Evil, which I'm reading right now, and that is called See No Evil by Alison Brennan. The 21st prompt that I got was read a book with a red cover, so that for that one I'm going to be reading Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyon. This is a fantasy book, but it's very red. And so I decided to go with this one because it's one of my most anticipated reads of this year, and I'd really like to get that into my reading soon, and so since it fit this prompt I decided to go with it. The 22nd prompt I got was Interracial Romance, and for that one I hope to read A Hope Divided by Alyssa Cole. This is book 2 in the Extraordinary Union series, where the first one definitely was an interracial romance, so I figure the next one might be as well. It's a Civil War romance that between one from each side usually, so I guess this is going to be that again, and I'm very much looking forward to reading it. I loved the first one. I really thought it was a really good book, but I haven't been able to find the audio, so we'll have to see if I am able to find it or if I'm not. The 23rd prompt was read a book that has less than 1,000 reviews on Goodreads. For that one I'm gonna go with the next book in the Amber Chronicles, and that's called The Courts of Chaos by Roger Zelazny. This is book 5 in the Amber Chronicles, and it had about 300 and something reviews on Goodreads, so it fits this prompt, and it's really old, so I don't think it's gonna immediately get a lot of other reviews, which I think is also important to consider when you pick a book like this. Prompt number 24 is to read a book that's turned into a movie or TV show, and I haven't really decided on a book, but I also need to stay focused on my Stephen King challenge, and he definitely has a lot of books that's been made into a movie, and one of those is Pet Sematary, which is going to be my next read after Christine that I'm currently working on. So I put this on just so I can at least read that maybe. The 25th prompt that I got was to read a book about food or cooking, and I have 3 options for this one. I have Delicious by Susan Mallory. I'm pretty sure this is a chef sort of thing, or the girl on the cover is wearing an apron. Otherwise I have Magical Blend by Kennedy Lane, which I think though is a tea shop that she has, so I don't know if it counts as food cooking. I mean, it is in the almost the same area, but it's not food, it's nutritions, it's fluids. Anyway, the last and final one I have is Envy of Angels by Matt Wallace. This is an urban fantasy story about a restaurant that has to cook meals for vampires and demons and sort of like that. Sounds like kind of a fun concept, and I think it could be fun to read it. It's not very romance focused, I think, but who knows, it could be. Anyway, these are all of the prompts for the first bingo board. Maybe I'll do a second one later on if it goes really well. We'll have to see about it. So definitely let me know in the comments down below if you're planning on participating and what you are reading. How many book bingos boards are you going to try and fill out? And also, if you're not sure you want to participate, definitely go and check out Sarah from Sleeping Books announcement video so you can figure out if it's something you want to participate in, and also just to see her channel because she's an amazing lady. And yeah, this was everything I had for you today. I've been talking for quite a while, I think. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye.